Welcome to the Korea Cup, everybody! So, officially, this is called the Healing League, and if you watch the channel regularly, then you are probably familiar with the name, because we already had one last year. So this is now Healing League number 2, the second season. The problem is, if I call this the Healing League, then nobody knows what I'm talking about, but we kind of call it the Korea Cup, simply because this tournament takes place on the Asia server, so we have mainly Korean players and teams participating here. There will be a couple of Chinese probably in there as well, and I suppose we're going to have a couple of Taiwanese players too. Makes it always a little bit tricky sometimes with the players' names, with the team names, but I'm trying to make sure that we have everything like properly together here. Also, despite the fact that this is officially called the Healing League, this is actually a tournament. So this is a double elimination tournament. We have 8 teams in total. We're currently in the first round of the winner bracket, and these are right now best of 3 matches. So first round match, we have Team Easy Girl, not my name, don't look at me, and I also don't know if it's a team full of easy girls or if they are looking for easy girls. I'm not quite sure what the explanation is here. Initially it was just advertised to me as Team EG, so it was like, ooh, an evil genius rip or something, but one of the players very quickly in the lobby clarified that they are Team Easy Girl and they want to be addressed like that. So maybe they're looking for the easy girls. I have no idea. If you know where to find them, you can contact them and let them know. And we have them going up against Team Beast Titans. So there are no draft rules, to my knowledge. I have not been informed of anything, meaning that it is another tournament where we have absolutely zero restricting rules with heroes that you can't pick, heroes that you can only pick once, whatever, pre-bans, whatever it is. A total vanilla tournament on the Korean server. I would still expect that there's obviously differences in meta when we're talking about the scene here in Korea or in Asia, and then what's happening in the Western scene. We already had the North American tournament just recently, so you could see some priority changes between Europe and NA again there. Lunara is a good example. She's been played a lot more. There's a few others too. But in this case, what we're getting right away is Vala as an insta-pick. And this is a bit reminiscent of the last tournament that we actually commentated on the Korean server, or on the Asian server, because Vala back then was just an absolute staple. She was either picked or banned essentially every single game. Might be that we're still seeing the same here. It's a bit too early to tell, but at least in game number 1, she gets a massively high priority. If you compare that then again, what we're seeing in the Western scene, Vala, while respected and picked, does have nowhere near the priority that we're currently seeing on map number 1 in this case. So Vala oftentimes is neither picked nor banned, not addressed at all during a draft when we're talking about European and North American tournaments, but at least starting into the Korea Cup here, she gets highest priority. We're getting Urel and we get Brightwing, and then we get Blaze over on the blue team side, sorry, the red team side together with Uther. Now, personally, when you look at the team names and some of the player names, a couple of the guys that we have on the red team should ring a bell. And Team Beast Titan, they are the favorite in this particular best of 3. To my knowledge, we also have Dami playing for the team, currently on Blaze here. Is already a bit highlighted, so if you can read some Hangul, then you probably already figured that out for yourselves. But yeah, we're diving again into the Korean scene a bit. They don't have as many tournaments as we have in the European scene, so we're seeing less tournaments being played out here, which makes it sometimes also a bit difficult to really judge the power level of the Korean teams and players. But generally speaking, there's not as much competition going on in Heroes of the Storm anymore in Korea as in the European, for example, which then in and of itself is obviously a bit of a problem for them. So Maiev gets banned out. When it comes to bans, pretty standard stuff. We are on Battlefield, so you want to have some damage against the Immortal. Hanzo has been banned out for that reason. Vala has been chosen very likely for Arrow build. Could technically also be played with an auto attack style if you are focusing more on team fights than anything else, and the idea is not to just rush the Immortal, but to team fight around it. Urel and Anubarak. This is actually something that hasn't changed on the Asian server in at least the last 6-7 years, because this is a comp that has been very popular in the past, in the days of actual HGC, back then in the Eastern Clash, and it still gets picked with very high priority. Yeah, well, and now that we have the double support here, with Uther doubling as a main tank, now the chances of Vala going into an auto-attack build are, of course, increasing. So as our final pick, oh my god, we're getting even Zarya. Yeah, that seems very much like we're going to get auto-attack style. That 4-man is brutal. The sustain here is ridiculous. And then over on the left side, after Sergeant Hammer has now been picked on BOE for Team Easy Girl, what are we getting for for Hades. What's going to be the pick here? They still need some damage. They definitely don't have enough. Sergeant Hammer is nice, but you need a bit more if you really want to take it out. In that case, going for melee might work too. They go for Junkrat. And with that, we're set, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1 here at the Korea Cup between Team Beast Titan and Team Easy Girl. Off we go. First game of the series. And ooh, we got the big bars. Yep, sorry for the hit point bars. Blizzard a long time ago introduced with one patch a bit of a problem with the overlay, and there is a fix, but since this is now taking place on the Korean server, I haven't applied it yet, because for some reason Blizzard doesn't save those settings globally, but for every server individually. I can switch it between games, but for this one we'll have to deal with it, my apologies. Over on the left side for the blue team we have Brightwing as the support, we got a Nuburak and Urel for the front line, and side lane Junkrat and Sergeant Hammer for the damage, and on the right side of course, Uther as a main tech. Vala arrow build, damn, even with the double support. Uther, Stukov, Zarya, and Blaze. So a massive 4-man, and they still decide that they want to play an arrow build Vala. Now, arrow build Vala is obviously the standard when you're talking about Battlefield of Eternity, but that's mostly something that you see when you're playing with 2 damage dealers, and Vala with 2 supports and Zarya behind her is traditionally something that leans very heavily into auto attacks, but they went away from that particular style and just said, alright, we're gonna go into an arrow build regardless. Bit surprising to me, gotta be honest. I expected them to go full on with Dami here into auto attacks, but you can get a lot of stacks together also with this build, and it gives you a lot of sustain for those team fights. So let's see what they're gonna pull off with that. Now also, quick disclaimer here, obviously this is all playing out on the Asia server. Time zones is a little bit more tricky. Guys, if you want to support casting tournaments like this and bringing you coverage not only from Euro but also NA and Korea, you can consider supporting the channel on Patreon. There's a link in the description that you can check out. And big shout out to all of the Patreon supporters, very much appreciated, and again, you're a big part of why it's still possible to cover Heroes of the Storm on the channel in the first place. So if you haven't checked it out yet and you want to support the channel, this is generally speaking the best way. Vala with 2 stacks right now. On level 1 we got the advanced artillery over here for Sergeant Hammer, and the wall is already broken. So they are really going for it, turning the top lane into their own territory here. And having done a lot of work. Now at the bottom of the map, Sergeant Hammer is just shelling away one shot after another. But I gotta say that at least for now, that insanely crazy sustainable squad of the red team is doing some work. Navala is now alone at the top, has not gotten herself a lot of stacks yet, but they have done a huge amount of structural damage, which is obviously quite helpful here. And now that Vala also has the repeating arrow, it will make things a little bit easier. But one wall broken just as the objective is about to be announced is already a fairly good start into all of this. So as it stands, we are getting the camps taken. Nuburak is double checking on this one just quickly and sees what he can do here. Not much, by the way. Is already retreating, was essentially trying to buy a bit of time. Vala is using him as a bit of a pin cushion for a few more arrows and a few more stacks as she's now starting to head into objective number 1. Obviously, level 7 is still missing, which is a big deal when you're talking about Vala and her damage against the Immortal. You want to have that Monster Hunter. This is one of the big ones that you're trying to get in order to get solid damage out against the Immortal and maybe even raise your opponent. They haven't gotten that yet, and instead what we're seeing is just the oh, Sergeant Hammer getting stunned out. It's just the traditional 4 people just all full on sending it here. And the halftime show goes to the red team, so they're doing pretty okay at the start. 7 stacks for Vala, again, nothing crazy. Level 7 is probably not going to play a role for this objective unless somebody is able to draw it out and slow things down. But the blue team is now taking a more defensive pose, except for Sergeant Hammer. But the same problem applies, obviously. Sergeant Hammer does need a level 7 talent to get the full-on power spike with movement, and they just don't have it. So it's a 50% shield at the end of the day for the red team. So they're doing pretty good here, and can now try and use that sustain lineup with 2 supports and Zarya to break through the bottom wall as well. Aided, of course, by the Immortal itself. And I'd say this is exactly what we're getting now. Them just absolutely crushing it down here. This could even cost Team Easy Girl the bottom fort, if we're honest about it. Sergeant Hammer is essentially the only real tool that they have to push this back. Everybody else has to sit tight. Here comes level 7 that gives us Monster Hunter. Vala is by now at 10 stacks, and they are really doing a number on that bottom fort, as you can tell. Top side, that's where we have Urel and Blaze still confronting each other, but as already expected, that bottom fort goes down. Too much sustain here. It would be kind of funny if you could actually heal the Immortal. Think about how OP that would be. If you could actually heal the Immortal and just like do that all day, every day. Keep it topped up, you know, have 2 supports behind it, give it a Zarya shield. Can you imagine how that would influence some of the strategies? Games would probably take half the time. And the objective, no matter what it is, would be insanely overpowered. But in this case, we have the first fort eliminated. The top side fort takes some damage too. Bottom of the map. Blue team is now moving in. And we actually haven't seen a kill yet. We're 5 minutes in. We haven't seen a single kill yet. So nobody has actually been destroyed here. Next attack is coming. And they're fighting for the camp. But the Kazuras have already been claimed. On the other hand, Brightwing is a little bit low. Needs to be careful. And Sergeant Hammer gets wrecked. Or about to be wrecked. But the first one to fall was the Fruit Fly. Hammer a bit low. There's the triple kill. After we had Urel also eliminated. That's 3 heroes down, and all of that for a Khaldor camp. Feels a bit like a waste, I'm not gonna lie. 5 minutes in, not a single kill, and then the blue team thinks that they can come in and take him on, and they were very quickly proven wrong. So now with a lead in experience and nearly a level advantage, the team is starting to do some serious work, moves towards the top lane to catch themselves an additional camp. And the whole goal here is, of course, to get to level 10 and then try and push for the fort. Which is basically what they're going to be trying to do here. So already slowly moving in for this. And yeah, let's see how much further they can go. Because right now you find yourself in a pretty good spot actually. You have level 10 over your opponent, just here it is. And with that you can now easily move in and start to make a bit of a play on this. But they're not actually focusing on it, they're instead going for the Immortal. Next one gets announced and they're just saying, alright guys, it's Immortal time. So not too bad for them either. They get the halftime show easily, of course, and if they rush things then they might even be able to go for the second half. They could have pushed for the topside fort, I think, though. So that might have been a good, good alternative as well. Delays things, your opponent will get level 10 for the objective, but hey, 2 forts are 2 forts. Now, if they're getting the Immortal, then of course they're going to grab the topside fort no matter what. I mean, this is going to happen either way then. And they're getting a massive shield on it just as level 10 finally hits for Team Easy Girl. So we get level 10 on both sides now, but this topside fort is absolutely doomed. Has already taken damage, is a big Immortal with a big shield. Pretty big boy there. Vala has now 17 stacks. That not only helps her against the Immortal, but it will also assist the red team when they're fighting against their opponents here at the top lane. The bot lane, that's where we still have our 1 versus 1, so that hasn't changed. Quick hit coming, also the ult from Zarya zones them completely away. The defense is made insanely difficult by them, and 7-8 minutes into the game now, they are starting to aggressively push for the wall and keep it. Ooh, damn, Vala, look at that. Nice arrow connects here, stacking her level 1 further and also ensuring that Sergeant Hammer is pressured and pushed back, and that worked very, very nicely. So, job well done. Now in the meantime, we have Sergeant Hammer nearly falling, needs to retreat, and that's always a problem because it's one of the main damage dealers and tools that they're using for defense. Of course, that's Junkrat too, but Brightwing now has to focus everything on Sergeant Hammer to keep her in play. Cocoon is out against one of the supports, but Uther, doubling as a tank here, is immediately being saved, and now they're pushing. Guys, it's going to be a keep. They're going to go for a keep here. This will be the first keep of that series. What a huge lead now for Team Beastide. And again, no kill. The only kills happened around the camp at the bottom of the map. Maybe now that might be changing, but Urel pops her ult, is fine, moves back. So 3 kills to 0, and all the kills happened around a single Khaldor camp at the bottom of the map. At no point during an Immortal push or a fight over the Immortal have we seen anyone die. Looking at the damage numbers, Vala with 23,000, she's actually trailing behind Zarya. Junkrat is the top damage dealer on the blue team side for Team Easy Girl. And now level 13 is slowly coming together. So another talent advantage for Team Beast Titan. And they will most likely now try to open some of the, well, open the bot lane up. Open that one gate and the entire wall up and see what they can do with that. I mean, ideally, of course, they're trying to get a kill here, which they were basically doing against Sergeant Hammer now. Nubarak is also jumping away. It's a 4-man defense with a 5-man push because Urel is at the top. And this is going to do some damage. I mean, Urel is going to get some value here. The question is just how much damage are they themselves taking at the bottom of the map, where the towers are now falling, the side walls are being opened up, and they're going straight up for that gate. So this is already putting them in a very good spot for a potential push. And the next Immortal is spawning in 20 seconds. So things are looking very, very good for the team in red. But, well, can they actually win the next one too? Team Beast Titan is definitely in a great spot here. Even with the pleb horse that it's being ridden by Uther. There's no excuse here either. As your main server, dude. Like, there's no excuse riding a pleb horse into battle. But Vala, of course, is now absolutely crushing it. You see the hit points on the Immortal. She's not insanely stacked. She's only sitting at 20. We talked about the lack of fights or the lack of kills. But this still empowers her to easily help them to get the halftime show. And they are going to try and now pull even further ahead. Monster Hunter, in conjunction with the level 1 talent, just insanely strong. And, well, off we go. Next quick attack is happening. Blue team is risking a lot more here now. They have to. They have 13 versus 13 talents. This is their chance. Divine Shield is out. Here comes the Reptile. They're trying again for Zarya, but there's also a bunker. And that one gets used quite a lot. Then again, Sergeant Hammer is now starting to bring this back. I'm actually shocked that they are not sneaking Vala over to the left to just unleash a few arrows. She could easily do that with the repeating arrow, but apparently they don't want to risk it. Maybe they don't have vision on everyone. I thought they did, but I might be wrong. So they should by now know where the opponent is positioned and how they're currently playing this out. But Sergeant Hammer is starting to become a threat here, and now the blue team has pulled ahead on hit points, which might change now because Zarya is already moving in. She's obviously also one who does really a lot of work, and with Vala appearing, there's a lot of damage done within seconds. That Immortal is struggling for sure. So, the attack continues. Still not a single kill for the blue team, by the way. Nice! They're going for Sergeant Hammer again. It's not quite working, but they could now make the play straight up for that Immortal. And Nubarak is dead. Vala with a kill. And now they can not only get the Immortal, but maybe even more. Another stun against Sergeant Hammer. Uther really trying to tee up a kill for the team. As catapults push through the middle, have started to attack things. But guys, we're 12 minutes in. We're 12 minutes in right now. So it's not like we are massively in the late game or anything. They will they will take down that bottom keep, and that pins down the blue team completely. Team Easy Girl is, yeah, struggling here. I said it before, but Beast Titan, in my eyes, clearly the favorite. Hikaru, Jackpot, I mean, Dami. Those are definitely names that you should all remember here. So they are now pushing in very aggressively in an attempt to not only get that keep, but maybe also end the game. And Sergeant Hammer gets annihilated. Nicely done. Blaze with a nice double stun. Drops the bunker. Talking about things that are being dropped. Junkrat nearly got dropped. Hades makes it out, but just look at the Immortal. Still more than 50% of its HP remaining. They go for a kill, and Junkrat is gone. Junkrat is gone. Turns out Urel falls too. This should be game. Core is already falling, and it's a 1-0 lead in the best of 3 between Team Easy Girl and Team Beast Titan in favor of the red team. A nice first map between the two of them here at the Korea Cup, at the Healing League season number 2. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Team Beast Titan is in the lead. The favorite has taken the first map, and now we're heading into Towers as our second map for the best of 3 series here. Again, we are in the winner bracket of the tournament. 8 teams in total. We have winners and a loser bracket, so it's the first round. And let's see what Team Easy Girl can do. Game number 1. They got a little bit steamrolled there, didn't they? Team Beast Titan was looking strong. But again, I would personally say they're definitely one of the favorites in the tournament. They are supposed to make it pretty far, especially in the winner bracket, but generally speaking too. So let's see. First, we're getting Lucio banned away. I kind of like, though, how they were continuously pushing. I mean, you could tell that with every single Immortal that they got massive amounts of value. Fort destroyed, keep destroyed. I mean, they kept going at it. The entire draft that they had, of course, catered towards it. You had a lot of sustain with the 2 healers and Zarya, so that really helped them here. And Vala gets banned. Again, I'm personally very interested to see if the trend continues outside of only this series. Because Vala doesn't have that high of a priority in the Western scene. And I think when it comes to meta changes and differences, and also just generally what people value and don't, Vala is probably one of the biggest differences. You can obviously also see that with what people expect sometimes in the European scene. It's actually kind of amusing. There's a lot of comments, doesn't matter if it's Twitch or YouTube, where people are like, oh my god, why is nobody picking this or that hero? And it's usually one, you know, hero that plays no role in the meta whatsoever, just because they are used to playing against a certain hero in their own Storm League games. But there is a big, big difference between playing a Storm League and having a competitive tournament environment. Not the same. One is an unorganized shit show, and the other one is coordinated play with voice, with preparation. So yeah, very, very different. And that makes a big dent. So Brightwing as a first pick. And then for the blue team, no, they gotta step a bit up if they want to have a chance here. They, by the way, had map choice. So after losing game number 1, what they did is that they decided in favor of picking the map. And now we get Genji and Dehaka. Now, from a European perspective, the immediate thing that you would try and either pick or ban once that you see Genji being shown this early is, of course, Anduin. Anduin Light Bomb engage with the Genji Swift Strike. This is just something that, you know, it's super powerful. Dehaka makes a whole lot of sense for Towers of Doom. You can still go for your Urel at the top lane. You can go for Leo. There's plenty of choices. But if you have the global, then you're already in a good spot. Genji, again, with or without a Light Bomb, would be very powerful here. But I could see that now being banned out by Team Beast Titan. Now they pick Sylvanas, they pick Urel. With Sylvanas, if they are trying to do something similar to what they executed in game number 1, they're going to try and push for bell towers early and try and claim map control. And against an opponent you perceive to be weaker than you, if you feel like you're the favorite, this is actually something that can make a lot of sense, because you are from the beginning just trying to totally choke them out, go in and, you know, just control the game and, yeah, make it basically your pace that it's being played at. Diablo gets banned. Not bullying anybody around here. And then as our final pick for Team Beast Titan, what are we grab? Sorry, for the ban. What are we banning out now? Do they get rid of Anduin, or do they just not really... Okay, they are not really valuing it. Now, the next question is, of course, does the blue team value it? Because, again, you, first of all, it's open. At least it's open, right? You can play it if you want. But do they want to do it, yes or no? They got Stitches and there's Anduin. So you have Stitches, you have Anduin, that's also a bit of a lock that you can set there. Then with Genji you have the Light Bomb. You can go for Light Bomb Stitches after Gorge. So they are currently placing a lot of their hopes into the Stitches hooks and them connecting properly. It might become a bit difficult. If you hit Urel, she usually survives. Sylvanas could maybe dodge a little bit here, specifically after she gets the Will of the Forsaken. Then you got Muradin, who also has a lot of survivability, and then Tychus as the last pick for the red team. So it's gonna be an interesting one. A bit more burst damage would definitely help. You can also get a Stitches Gorge into a Dehaka, Tong, and Drag, so there's more CC around. But the final pick for Towers of Doom, again, this might be match point already, depends on how things go. Team Beast Titan is in the lead, but our final pick for Towers of Doom for the blue team, in this case, is Chromie. So there's your burst damage right there. And with that, we're heading straight into game number 2. Team Easy Girl over on the left side with their Anduin combo. We have Genji, Anduin as the big combo, then Dehaka to the side lane. He can always join these fights for a quick Tong. And a lot of this will hinge around Stitches as well. So you can use, of course, the Light Bomb, not exclusively, with Genji, but you can just also use it on Stitches once that he uses Gorge. We have Chromie, and she's going into Deep Breathing build right at the start, whereas the favorite in red, Team Beast Titan, is playing things out with Sylvanas and Tychus for damage. We're getting Urel and Muradin on the front line, so a lot of survivability there, and Brightwing in the meantime going for the Greater Polymorph on level 1. So it's not only about picking heroes and choosing what kind of team composition you want to run with, but sometimes also differences in certain talents. Very good example of that is, by the way, Tychus. Tychus Master Assassin is something that essentially had never really been played a lot in the European scene. It was mostly the bigger they are, very rarely in the rhythm. And then it was 1 or 2 tournaments that we casted over on the Korean server. And what happened there is that they picked Master Assassin non-stop for Tychus. And that changed then also. That had a bit of a ripple effect because, of course, a lot of the European players are watching this too. And so it had a ripple effect as people were saying, like, hey, there's a reason for this, let's try this out. And just because of the passive and how it synergized with Odin, it did really a whole lot for the teams, and it continued to be a big thing. So something to definitely keep a bit of an eye on. These days, obviously, things have changed a lot. Tychus doesn't get played a lot more in Europe. They moved away from that, but still seems to be popular over here on the Korean side. So time will tell where this is going, but for the time being at least, everybody is just going for their camps as usual. We have maybe, yeah, we have definitely an invade happening. I thought Urel would just wait a moment, but she just jumped straight in, hoops first. And now they're stealing the pumpkin camp away. Anduin is barely able to save Stitches. The Haka came through and has to waddle away too, but might even fall to Tychus. He should be able to get out. Grenade or no grenade, I don't care. He's gonna make it. But damn, that aggression from the red team right from the beginning, claiming their own pumpkin camp and then just moving over, stealing the camp of the opponent away too. And that very quickly now leads to an advantage, a level lead, and a talent lead. So, yep, looking great on this. Now the attack's still coming right now, making another quick move for that bot lane, and I highlighted Sylvanas earlier as a tool that they can use to push this one through, and they are doing a lot with it. So, yeah, very nicely done, very well played. Muradin also jumping back out here. But I like the aggression. Again, this is something that we observed in game number 1. I really like the way that they're playing with a lot of aggressive moves right now and try to make their plays, try to put their mark onto this. I said earlier that if you're going up against an opponent that you perceive to be weaker, one thing that you can definitely do is try and be aggressive, is trying to move in and pin them down very, very early, force them to play your game, your style, and this is exactly what they're currently trying to do here. So down at the bottom of the map, with the triple altar phase coming up, the red team is now trying to take control over the neutral space, and they're getting a kill. They're going for Chromie. So they're taking her out quickly. Chromie is gone, and that is perfect timing. Exchange. Ooh, actually, interesting exchange between the middle and the top. Genji stole one away. Genji was actually able to steal the top right. Urel not seeing it, not reacting quickly enough. Now Anduin falls at the bottom of the map, but yep, the party continues. Stitches goes down too, so they might have lost out on some of the bell towers here, but they're doing quite the number on the rest of the team. So dropping one hero after another and just doing work on this. Good job. Helps them to get a very early bell tower conversion. We're talking before the 4-minute mark even, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. And that is pretty darn sweet. So, top side, yep, Urel still holding her own against 2. But if you look at the current state of the game here, the red team might have lost 2 of the altars. They're now down to 32 points. But if you're just quickly looking at all the other numbers, 3 kills to 0, level 8 versus level 6, 5 bell towers to 3. Team Beast Titan has just walked away with a massive advantage. They sacrificed 1 altar, 1 additional altar, and then they just were absolutely sending it here. Trying to defend now, of course, the bell tower at the bottom left and doing their best on this. But yeah, it's a bit bananas if you ask me. So, oh, but there's Sylvanas, the counter kill. Finally a kill for them. Finally kill for them. Nicely done. Now we have Brightwing ready to help out. Urel towards the top. Brightwing is now coming in as announced. But they, losing Genji. Yeah. And this is half a level to 10. Half a level to 10 here. Team Beast Titan, the Attack on Titan fans, they're doing some serious work. I've been talking about Kaiju number 8, by the way, as a really cool anime to watch, and I really like it. I did not realize that it only had 8 episodes or something. I was so annoyed. It's such a great series, such a fantastic first season. I can't wait for the next one. But I really thought that we would have another series in our hands that has at least, you know, like 15, 20 episodes or something. And then I watched the 8th season, and the 8th episode, and somebody is like, "Oh yeah, by the way, did you know this is the last one?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Actually, I'm lying. It's not 8. It's like 11, 12. Still not enough. It's still not enough. It needs to have like 20 per season or something. If you haven't watched it yet, Kaiju number 8, fantastic anime. Make sure to check it out. It's really, really good. Extremely well paced too. Don't waste your time with trash like the Acolyte. So don't watch Disney trash. Go over to the animes. At least there you get some proper stories that are in itself consistent, fun, cool characters, and good action. So yeah, definitely the better option. With level 10 abilities, they are of course now pushing hard. That bell tower has never been retaken at the bottom of the map, at least not just yet. We have the blue team aiming for 10. They now have it, and with that, they might now finally be able to make a dent into that armor of Team Beast Titan, because now they have Light Bomb, now they have Gorge, now they have with Genji an engage option. And well, here comes Gorge first, and there's the stun, and Murden, unimpressed, jumps out. Still gets killed though because of Chromie, and Brightwing was trying to come into the rescue, dies, and ha 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 ha! Those are some pretty sweet and sexy kills. I mean, damn. They come in hyper aggressive in this case, get the kill against Murd, and then they get the kill against Brightwing and follow it up with the third one against Tychus. So job well done. Here's the 3 kills, and all of a sudden the team in blue is back to business. 31 to 32 points on the core now, but this one was pretty important. There was a chance that you get fully snowballed by this, but they did well. They didn't really have a problem there or anything. So now, of course, the big question on how much further can they go with the play at the bottom of the map as we're going for the next altar. There's the attempt to get a quick kill in. Genji is still fine for now. Might have a problem with Murden though. There's another Gorge. Always Murden. They go for the tank at the front now. Light bomb timing is, again, nicely done by Brightwing. So they are safe. And Urel, what? No! They die again. 2 of them are down. 2 of them are down. Damn. What is happening there? 2 heroes are gone, and specifically it's interesting that Urel never even used her ult. Urel never used her ult in this. Got stunned out as it seems and just didn't have a chance on this one. Wow. Yeah, that's a little bit rough. 13 now on the board for the blue team. Fantastic opportunity to get into game number 3, I suppose. We have Master Assassin on 4 stacks now for Tychus. But yeah, nothing too crazy happening there yet. Now the next attack at the bottom of the map. This time the red team is trying to get a kill themselves, but Murden gets again looped. Temporal loop is in, and Jackpot goes down. So does Anduin on the other hand. Anduin gets eliminated. Yep, the man with a beard goes, and the man without a beard and the ability to grow one also is destroyed. We have Stitches taken out. Now they're going for the Haka. Pops the Essence. Urel with a nice push into the corner. Maybe an opportunity to take him down after all. They want him. Can they get him? Yes, they can. And with Sylvanas, they're going for the bell tower. They want more kills too. And this might just be another one. Very quick attacks coming in now with one hero falling after another. The chance to go for the bell tower conversion. But the altars are activating as well. It is a party time over here. Yep. Things are starting to get super interesting. Last game, how many kills did we have? Until the final push happened, it was like 4 or something along those lines. Now we got 15. We got 15 kills already. 9 minutes into the game. 15 kills are in, and damn, that's another drop on Anduin. Anduin is gone. The Crybaby gets eliminated. Tyke is with the channel. Urel with the channel. That is double shots fired. They're going to take 8 points of that core. They never took that bell tower. But, here are the attacks coming in now. 8 to 8 at this point, and things are continuing to look pretty damn good for Team Beast Titan. There were definitely a few weak moments, and 8 kills for Team Easy Girl. I'm making this very clear, but now Chromie gets killed. The bell tower conversion is essentially inevitable. It will happen. And yeah, then we see how much further they can go on this one. So yeah, as it stands, we're having the bell tower claimed. That was to be expected. Now 15 to 15. I suppose 16 is going to kick in soon. Maybe they can build on that a bit more too. But I like how the blue team is continuously trying to fight back here. We have 8 kills on them right now, so that's great. On top of that, we're looking at Dehaka reclaiming experience at the top. He's trying to get them a little bit closer, and he keeps them in XP range continuously the entire time. So, yeah, not too shabby. The camps, on the other hand, they're going all to the red team now. We have Haymaker on level 10. Muradin loses a lot of survivability because of it, of course, but he gets them additional damage, and so far, at least, it's been working. They go again for Dehaka. Gorge against Sylvanas. Dehaka is going to fall. Dehaka goes down any moment. Sylvanas, in the meantime, is able to escape. Yep, is able to jump out and make it out of the battle. So she's gone. Easy escape for her. They lose another hero. It's 16 to 16 talents now. And just take a look at Master Assassin for Tychus. 10 stacks. He's at 10 stacks. He might actually complete it. Again, this is not a talent you take because you want to complete it. It's a talent you take for the passive. But if you can complete it, I mean, damn, yeah. Uh-oh, she's dead. Sylvanas! And she's gone. Sylvanas is gone, but the first 4 shots get fired. It is now a 5 versus 4, though. And I don't think that they can take the one at the bottom of the map. It would be a bit crazy if they could. So, 10 kills to 9. Shots are fired by the blue team. 11 to 28 on the core. And again, this is game number 2. This is match point for the Team Beast Titan. Team Beast Titan has a match point here that they could try to exploit, and we'll see if they can pull that off. So, right now, we're looking at the bot lane still being pressured. They're hoping for these hooks. Light bomb engage. Nice. The double stun. Urel is dead. Space Goat is gone. Once that tender meat. And the Space Goat gets eliminated. So, neat. Muradin gets also killed. That entire combo around Stitches really seems to be working for them. I mean, there is a certain RNG factor, obviously, to it in a lot of the cases. But it is currently doing well. They're looking much, much better than they did in game number 1. And the way that they're playing, there is a chance to bring this back, force game number 3, and maybe cause a bit of an upset over here. If they can pull that off, that would be pretty neat from their perspective. And there's the next hook, and this is the end of Tychus. It was a close call. It was a very, very close call, but they get the hook after all. So the hook connects. They're doing a great job on that. And now the push coming through the bottom of the map in an attempt to maybe even take a bell tower before the next altar phase starts. That's another 25 seconds. Don't really think that it's going to work in time, but they are ahead in kills now. They're ahead in experience. They have an entire level advantage. They're looking very, very strong all of a sudden. So Team Easy Girl, not so easy today. 40,000 damage for Genji. Top damage in the game is Tychus with 44. Shortly followed by Sylvanas on 41,000. But now the question, can they be dropped down into the single digits? Stitches is going to go for the hook. Let's not forget, Muradin with Haymaker. It's always a bit tricky for him. First shots are already fired. Haymaker is also interesting against Stitches in this context now. If Muradin can make a move for it, then he could play around that. Tong being used, and Brightwing is gone. These are just the combos that they sometimes executed. Tong against Brightwing, Chromie's damage. That's the end of the Fruit Fly. Therefore, you have no heals left. And the attacks, they keep on coming. 13 to 10, half a level until 20. The late game momentum is everything on this map. It is absolutely everything when you're playing on Towers of Doom. And with another 4 shots fired against the red team's core, they're now down to 20. So the gap between the two is really closing. It definitely is. And you look over at the kill count, specifically Muradin at the front is having trouble. I wonder why. Could it be that it... I mean, I have an inkling. Could it be that it's just because he doesn't have Avatar? Nah, that can't be. Maybe it is. So yeah, no Avatar, no Muradin. Muradin is dead again, gets murdered by Chromie over here. Tigers goes down too. This entire game is currently falling apart for Team Beast Titan. It's falling apart. Early game was great, mid game was alright. Now it's just an absolute disaster. It's a little bit like Jasper Philipsen. Total disaster, total catastrophe. And damn, they're getting murdered over here now. 15 kills, 210, level 20. The only good news for the red team is that they're still ahead in core points and that they're about to get level 20 for themselves. Maybe those Storm Talons are finally going to give them a bit of an edge, because they're now likely to lose the bell tower at the bottom of the map. Pumpkin's already coming in and dropping it low. They're not quite making the play for it yet. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And on top of that, of course, what is the choice now? They need definitely survivability for Mirror in particular. Invisible Friends, and there it is, the Hardened Shield. Exactly. That's really something that they needed. I personally just loathe Playmaker Muradins. They're fun, don't get me wrong. Like, they're entertaining, but it's not really the best one. Now they are getting a nice angle on Stitches. They're trying for the kill, and they can't get it. Oh, the isolation, only connecting with Urel here. The Haka came in, wanted to make the big play, hits Urel, but that did not enough for them. Muradin gets gorged, Anduin with a pull, and can Muradin turn it around? The Stormbolt, and Stitches is still alive. Stitches is alive, another hook, and Muradin is dead again. What else is new? They try for the Haka, that didn't work out either. 6 deaths on Muradin. I think honestly, whenever Muradin dies, he should, whenever Muradin picks Haymaker, he should just be booted from the team immediately. They just can't keep him alive. He gets murdered the entire time. And now King 4 is channeling through, so yeah. The blue team is doing a great job on this. 11 to 15 points now. And let's see if they can get another kill or two. Might go for Sylvanas here. Hook comes out. Good dodge. That was a really important dodge and a good one as well. They could have definitely backfired quickly. But, yep, not too bad. And now they're going for the boss at the top too. That's another 4 shots fired. And guess what? That means that we're now on even points on the core. We're absolutely even on this one now. Bell Tower likely going to be retaken, but it's a 6 kill advantage for the blue team, for Team Easy Girl. So they're going to be 6 kills ahead here. And, yeah. Things are just looking really, really damn good. There's the next attack coming. Bell Tower is taken. I'm really curious if the red team can bring this back. They came in as the favorite, but I am not sure if they can properly bring it back here. They are definitely going to try though. But now the pumpkin camps are about to be targeted. We have 20 versus 20. It is as even as it can get right now. 20 versus 20. The kills, yes, a bit different, but in experience, this is one level of the difference. Not that big of a deal. But we have 11 points on each team's core. Bell Tower situation is the same, so now you can really try. Just get the big team fight going, and then see who takes it. It will be interesting to see who wins the battle. It's a double altar now. Nobody can win right now. You can definitely drop your opponent into the single digits here. Muradin is actually moving towards the top, obviously in an attempt to blindside the Haka a little bit. And get a quick hit on him, which so far has not happened. They might just be okay to get one each. That might actually happen. That they're getting that one done. Alright. So, shots fired. Boom. And easy exchange. Alright. Also, a little bit of an announcement. So apparently they have both of the teams playing again in this tournament. Team Beast Titan and Team Attack on Titan. It's too many Titans. It's the same as in the last season. This is Team Attack on Titan. My apologies. So yeah, just got an info on that. So Attack on Titan is playing not Team Beast Titan. Those are 2 different teams. And yeah, both of them obviously anime fans, as you can tell. But yeah, it's reflected now in the overlay, so keep that a bit in mind. Again, it's not really always all that easy. Mainly getting Hangul names and then translations. So yeah, Attack on Titan. Them and Team Beast Titan, they both made it pretty far in the last tournament. So every single time you see a Titan pop up, it's gonna be a big one. But yep, so here it is. We're gonna get Team Beast Titan later. For now though, it is Attack on Titan. And they are struggling a bit in game number 2. Coming as the favorite here. Maybe now a chance to get the bell tower with Sylvanas. You can obviously start to make a bit of a move here. Alright. Oh, Muradin. Muradin jumps out. There's the hook. And it doesn't connect. Alright. The hook doesn't connect. 16 to 10 on the kill count still. Yeah, again, anything single kill that you can get from here on out might be the end of the game. We have 7 points on each team's core, so that means single digits on each side. And now with the double altar phase, the game could end here if one team is able to get both, or get an altar and a channel. Urel is already channeling. Urel is channeling. She's getting the one in the middle. So if the one at the bottom of the map goes over to the red team as well, the game's over. The game could end here. They gave up the one in the middle. Now Odin gets pulled. They're going for the big red button, trying to push them back here. Urel moving in from the side. It is party time. This is really where the game could be decided. They're starting with the channel on Brightwing. Genji has to interrupt it. He knows it too. Jumps in, goes into the range immediately of Tychus. The big jump into the back. Chromie with the damage. But they get the kill against Brightwing. And now Muradin barely able to jump out. No counter kill as it seems. Genji is jumping away. But it's a 5 versus 4 now. The kills against Brightwing always super successful. Seems like, Sylvana, she's actually able to survive. And Genji the same. He gets killed by Anduin. And it looks more and more likely, even with the Haymaker play. Again, I haven't seen a single Haymaker play where I would have said, okay, this is it. But they're getting away. The channel will happen from the blue team. This is going to go down to the wire. Each team has 3 points on the core, essentially, after Anduin finishes the channel. And then we'll see what else they can do. So, yeah, it is getting a bit crazy here. The conversion is happening, but it doesn't really matter. It matters a little bit. They're going to be down to 2 points. Pumpkins could end the game, of course. But at the end of the day, if this bell tower situation persists, the next altar channel is still going to end the game. Now you have, of course, also another little problem here. And that problem is very easily that we could, for example, see the boss deciding the game. And this is exactly what is about to happen here from the looks of it. They're going for the big fight, and already the jump is happening right there. Chromie with so much damage again, and it is over. The red team losing the game, and that is it. We go to game number 3. That was quick. Stitches gets immediately banned from Attack on Titan. Again, if you haven't seen the name change, this is Attack on Titan or Team Beast Titan. 2 different teams, and there was a misstep in the overlay for the first map. This is actually Team Attack on Titan that is playing against Team Easy Girl now in the winner bracket. We have our best of 3 and we're going the distance because apparently Stitches was a little bit too strong. Now, I personally think that it was not only Stitches being too strong and powerful, but there was also Muradin's lack of avatar that played a big role there. Be it as it may, Vala gets banned, we have Stitches banned out and heading into Tomb of the Spider Queen. Of course, we'll shift also some of the priorities a bit. I mean, at the end of the day, what we're going to be looking at is a lot of more AoE, really trying to stay on top of these waves, rotating from one lane to another. So we'll see how that works. Genji gets banned as well. So 2 of the heroes that were a big part of the success of the blue team on the last map have now been eliminated. Now, to be absolutely fair, when Genji was picked, I already said that I personally thought that banning out Anduin might be a good choice. They decided against it, and Anduin did a lot with those light bombs and allowing Genji to jump into the opponent's backline. He obviously also had a huge impact when we're talking about Stitches being able to gorge somebody and then pull the target back, make it even more dangerous for the target to escape again. But, well, now they are deciding that it's time to ban some of those. I think they could have made those adjustments already in game number 2, but as we're now heading into the deciding map of this particular match, let's see how much of an impact it's going to have to ban those 2 heroes and how exactly also the blue team is now going to react to it, because they have now an opportunity to just bring this back. So let's see what they're going to be doing. Mephisto, so he's the first one to get locked in. Mega high priority on him. I mean, super high priority for Mephisto. Immediately locking a big damage dealer in that is amazing on Tomb, can interrupt a turn in, can go for structures, for heroes, can take the waves down. So yeah, very nice pick for them. For the blue team, we're getting as a core part Anubarak and Blaze. So no Urel setup this time, at least not for them. Could still see her pop up for the red team, but they're having the 2 stuns now. So they got Anubarak, they got Blaze, and can play around those. Now, how exactly is Attack on Titan going to try and do this? Again, they are kind of the favorite heading into this. We have 8 teams in the tournament now. We are in the winner bracket still. But here comes Leo, and they are this time the ones to pick Anduin. So Leoric for the bot lane, he's going to be part of the one-on-one. Going to be trying to set up some entombs after level 10. Anduin with Light Bomb. Could, with a second damage dealer, with Tracer or who else, could really start to engage. I mean, Dami on Tracer would of course be kind of nice here too, so they could do that. But yeah, after the bans we're gonna see what they're rounding the draft out of. So, first Diablo gets banned. So no Diablo Leoric combo at the front. I'm a little bit shocked honestly that Johanna wasn't addressed yet. Neither picked nor banned. It's a little bit wild, if you ask me. She's usually, at least on the European side, and also North America when you think about it, she is a very high priority pick for Tomb of the Spider Queen. With all of the wave clear that she has, stuns, interrupts on channels, she's quite powerful. Chromie. They're banning as many of the heroes that were played on the last map as they possibly can. That's what essentially happens here. So, yeah, it's kind of amusing to me. But here comes the double pick for the blue team. Deckard Kane for the support. And they are the ones to pick Tracer. I could have absolutely seen Tracer comboed off with Anduin, as I said before. That would have been a good move. But they picked Tracer away. So no chance for Attack on Titan to make those plays. And I think it is definitely changing their own pick patterns a bit. Them hesitating here, I think, is part of Tracer now being picked. I think this was their priority pick. So they have to deviate away from it. They need more damage. They need a tank. Garrosh over Jojo. And we get Greymane. Greymane is in the house. Tomb of the Spider Queen. It is the 3rd map, everybody. It's the final map between the teams here. The final map in this first best of 3 series. One of the 2 will drop down into the lower bracket. And the other will move on to the same final in the winner bracket. Let's find out together who is who. Tomb of the Spider Queen, map number 3. Team Easy Girl on the left in blue. Deckard Kane on the heels. We get a Nubarak and Blaze for CC chains and jumps. Junkrat for interrupting any turn-in. Also very annoying, of course, can follow up with some of the CC and just generally a great hero for the map. Tracer played by Hades. The final pick. Well, last name for the blue team. Over on the right side, Attack on Titan. They're rocking this with Mephisto and Greymane as the damage dealers. Dami the one to play Greymane. We got Garrosh and Leoric at the front line. Leoric respectively also at the bottom of the map, locked into that 1v1 once that Blaze and him are taking to the lanes. And then we have Anduin for the heals. So, Beetle start for Anubarak as we're heading into game number 3. Which team is successful? Which team moves on to the winner bracket semi-final? And which team drops down into the losers bracket? That's essentially the biggest question here now. And, well, time will tell. So, let's have a bit of a look on this. But as it stands, we have the first objective opening up, so they can start turning some of those gems in. Let's go. Normally, of course, that's happening all a little bit later. The rotation between the mid and the top lane is ongoing. Things are just trying to control. There's 3 heroes at the bottom that were trying to make Leo's life a bit harder and at least force him to pop the fountain. But the rotation, therefore, is currently being dominated by the red team. Team Attack on Titan cannot be happy about what happened on the second map. Can't be happy about this at all. Maybe they got a bit complacent here, but I think they went in thinking that they would win this one, no matter what, with a 2-0. And now the blue team is needling away. And also trying to take the siege giants at the bottom of the map. If they are able to claim some kills here, make a couple of moves, that would of course be pretty sweet. We have on level 1 also Consume Vitality now for Leoric. And Leo with a good drain here against Blaze. Gems are slowly coming together for the two teams. Siege Giants claimed by the blue team. I was about to say, means they could try and escort those in, but Dami then just went straight for it and took the first one out. Second Siege Giants fall. They haven't even been able to do any damage on the wall at the fort. So that wasn't well done. Then again, Leo gets hit here real quickly. That's where you have to be careful. Side laners are usually the ones that have the most gems at the beginning of the game. So them well, not nearly losing Leoric, but Leoric being pushed into tower range here, that's a bit of a risk. If he dies, the death in and of itself isn't a problem, but you losing the gems on your side laner, that is a pretty big deal, because as I said, at the beginning of the game, they normally hold the most gems. So, top side, already starting to make their moves. We now with level 4, also better barbs coming in. The entire time, Garrosh is just working on his level 1. 9 stacks for him right now, has Indomitable on level 4, as you would normally expect here too. And then down at the bottom of the map, Hades gets attacked. Yep, Drain is in. Alright, so far so good. The little attack is coming in from Dami here. Always poking against Tracer, and I think this is one of the big battles that we're going to see later. Dami is going to try and make a play for Tracer whenever he has an opportunity to do that. It's one of the main damage dealers and main threats on the other side, of course, too. So you really need to try and make as much of an impact there as you can. But in comes Greymane, okay. So that's the kill. With Blaze being the final one here. Not too shabby. And then on top of that, we're having also 46 gems on each side, so we're nearing the first turn-in of the game. Nobody has, by the way, secured any gems whatsoever. I think it's the blue team that's going to be the first one to try and get a few of those turned in. It's always one of my personal pet peeves when teams on this map are not starting to do their turn-ins a little bit earlier. It just opens yourself up to lose gems as you're losing team fights, and therefore the ticket back into the game. But not a single gem has been turned in just yet. 1 kill to 0. Time for Team Easy Girl, for Team EG to make some plays. And, well, the turn-in for the blue team is happening. First set of Web Weavers for Team Easy Girl. Yeah, and now the chance, of course. Look at this. 30 gems for Leo. If they could have turned that in at some point, it might not have given them the Web Weavers immediately, but just getting the turn in and being able to, you know, safeguard those is big. Because Leoric is normally somebody that, because of his trade, you also want to trade in team fights, and that hasn't happened here. So, question still remains if they can do that later. By now, at this point, let's see what's going on with that. But the pause is coming in. I don't think that anybody actually dropped on this one. But the timing is spectacular. Just as the Web Weavers are touching ground, we're getting a quick 3-2-3 moment. All the way at the top, nobody's dealing with that yet. We now have also not a lot of damage. We have had that single kill against Greymane, and that was it, and he just got caught at the bottom of the map. But with 10,000 damage on Tracer, we are of course now setting up. Again, objective number 1. We still got plenty of gems in the hands of the red team too. But it all depends on, do they lose heroes here now? Do they lose gems? How many structures are going to be destroyed by Team Easy Girl? So, yep, we're going to head into this. And once that the pawn is broken, we'll see how the blue team is going to set this up with the first objective of game number 3. And we're back. So apparently it was just a bit of a lag issue. We had the craziest reasons in the past for pauses and breaks. Coffee spilled on the keyboard. Cat running, I don't know, over the monitor cable or something. Mom's calling for dinner. Whatever it is, in this case, it just seemed to be a bit of a lag spike for one of the players, so they decided to wait a moment. But here comes that push. And now the big question, how much damage can you do with it? First wall has already been eliminated, So the wall's gone. And then on top, is there anything else that they can currently do with it? I mean, they're trying to get some kills. They're trying to get a fort. They go for the kill, and Greymane falls for the second time. Now, it's not a big deal in this case, because he didn't have a whole lot of gems, so that's the good news, I suppose. But that fort at the bot lane is now fully exposed and likely gonna fall. The wall at the top has also been dropped, and in the middle of the map, they've done some damage, but not enough. But this one is really low. The good news for the red team is that at least for now they are still able to defend it, but obviously it is going to be taken out sooner rather than later. Specifically now that we are looking at the blue team with a position at the bottom going for the next set of siege giants. So that is by definition going to hurt and push the lane out. Very likely result in the fort getting taken. I guess they're already alright with it. But the next attacks here are coming. It's all about the next turn. And 23 have now been delivered. 23 gems by Team Attack on Titan. And now the question is, can they do more? 39 for Leo! Get rid of your gems, dude! Get rid of all of them! Throw them... Don't throw them away. Turn them in and deliver. I mean, it's basically a solo turn-in that he has. He's not quite there yet. But if he clears a few more waves, he definitely will be. With 2 kills to 0, the early level 10 is now hitting on the blue team side. So we have them with ults claimed. Lulnado is in. Red team not quite there yet, so they gotta be very careful as they're getting attacked here in the middle. But they're gonna be alright, and now they have heroic abilities too, so this is the time where things can really change. We have Greymane obviously adapting to Tracer being on the other side, so going for the throat here with the Durance of Hate from Mephisto. So now's their time to start, fight back, and do some work. Can they? That's the question. Leo on 45 stacks now. 45 for him. And, yeah. He needs to be mega careful. He's gonna get a whole lot more right there. So he is really gonna be looking at a potential solo turn-in. But again, Leo is the one that you're happy to sacrifice in big fights normally. Well, not happy, but you're okay with it. Because if you can trade for ability cooldowns or for important heroic cooldowns, then it's essentially a win, depending on how much you were able to get. 51 gems now, so they're trying to turn in. The red team has sniffed it out, sorry, the blue team has sniffed it out, so they know exactly what's going on there, and that they have to prevent him from getting the turn in if they want to prevent the Web Weavers. It's 89 gems in total that the red team is holding currently. Blaze is also defending the turn at the bottom of the map, and now they're trying to turn in again as well. So both of the teams have a chance here. 12 gems turned in for the blue team. That's another opportunity. Try to go for Tracer, and Mephisto is dead. Mephisto is dead. Got deaded by Junkrat after Anubara teed it up perfectly. Did the big damage, and it seems like we're going to get 2 turns in a row. Guys, Team Easy Girl, they are looking really, really good here. They won game number 2, forced the 3rd map. And now they're absolutely crushing it. It's 3 kills to 0. And they will very likely take out another 4. At the... I mean, at least. I'm actually very intrigued how this is gonna go. Because Attack on Titan was, in my opinion, the clear favorite here. And that none of that can be observed right now. So, unless the red team is able to defend well and then turn in, they might lose another fort, maybe 2. And that means no fountains in the middle that could help you to take control over a turning point. Also, the next question is, are they going to lose some of their gems? Top side gets attacked. Well, Anubarak is still sitting cozy there. Bottom of the map, the push for the keep wall. Somebody has to address that, and currently nobody really does. So this is doing damage. And in the meantime, with the Riptire, the wave gets cleared, and that exposes the fort in the mid lane to more damage that they're immediately trying to deal with. Level 13 Talons as a lead for the blue team doesn't make this situation any easier. So they have a Talon advantage now on top of it. That bottom keep has already taken damage, and basically most things get saved, I guess. The fort lost in the middle, the wall at the bottom, and the top side fort. Can they take this one out too? They might just be able to. I mean, it's taking an awful lot of damage, specifically when we're talking about the minion waves that we're able to do a lot here. But it is a wild game. So 3 kills to 0, 120 gems. 120 gems now in the hands of Attack on Titan. 68 gems for Leo. 68. Others might say 69. Nice. -1. But yeah, he has a ton. And they're going for the boss at the top. I mean, even if you get a turn, if you allow that boss to be claimed, then you're just trading gems for boss defense. But apparently that's what they are alright with. They should know by now that boss is definitely an option. Here comes the turn-in. Now they know, because they see it at the top. And they're going for it. They're going to be delayed. They're going to be too late. No, they might just be time. Is anybody else jumping on it? Nope. And that's a boss. Boss is taken. Can they win the fight, though? If they can win the fight, it might be a different story. But here they're trying to escape. And Tomb has already been used. 44 gems. And they're all gone. 44 gems destroyed. They got a bit too greedy. They saw it too late. And now they are being punished. 44 gems are lost. Now Mephisto is dead too. This boss is going to do some serious damage up at the top. Wow. Even just losing the gems is already a disaster. Even losing the gems alone is already a massive problem. So now they have that situation to deal with. 5 kills and we still have not a single kill for the red team. Now they defended the boss at the top lane. They didn't lose the keep. But it also meant that their web weavers were doing nothing. Nothing. Scratching the paint of the fort in the middle. That's essentially that. No more than that. So that's essentially all that has happened here. And yeah, you're going up against a level 16 talent lead, a 1.5 level advantage. I like the chance of the blue team a lot right now, specifically after they took down Leoric and removed all of those gems. 31,000 damage for Tracer. 12,000. A third. Bit more, but roughly. For Mephisto. Mephisto is, by the way, nearly the same damage as Garrosh at this point. Greyman at least is also on 12k, but the situation still is exactly the same. Pathetic! That is not what they want. Not even a little bit. Attack on Titan not gonna be happy. They're not happy here. Gems get turned in. They have enough for another turn in if they're able to get everybody to turn in. And the situation gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Not really a good spot for the team in red. Blue team is dominating. They're setting the agenda. They're making the moves. They're getting the third web weavers now for themselves. There was only a single wave for the opponent. But yeah, bit nasty. Leo gets destroyed. Ah, kudos to Team Easy Girl. What a great play from them now. Taking Leoric down just as the web weavers are coming in. So not only do they extend their lead in experience, isn't, you know, 2 levels. And the level 16. Well, it's level 16 versus level 16 talent. So the power spike isn't active anymore for the blue team. But that bottom keep is falling. There's no changing that any longer. And the question is, what else can they do? Because they are still busy in the middle. They have still a chance at the top to at least break through some gates, take a wall or 2 down. So as it stands, they're just way too strong. And Team Attack on Titan is mildly struggling here. They're struggling a lot. Garrosh still has 30 gems. Jesus. Even with the 44 that they lost, they have at minimum 1.5 turn-ins. At a minimum. It's kind of brutal. But yeah. Either way, with that now we're still waiting for kill number 1 for. This probably amazes me more than anything else that the red team has not gotten a single kill yet. We're still waiting for the first one. Now game number 1 was the exact opposite. Blue team didn't get a kill. Now though, it is Attack on Titan that is struggling. And they are struggling hard. They defended the top keep. Might still fall as Tracer starts to push that one out. Starts to see if maybe she can do something there. We have Blaze turning in again in the middle. They have 27 gems. They're safeguarding everything they have whenever they get a chance to do it. But it is It would be an amazing comeback. Going 0-1, again, it's not like a best-of-3 reverse sweep, but it's still pretty impressive if you go 0-1 in the first series and then you turn it around. It's only a best-of-3, but still, big plays made from Team Easy Girl. And the red team pinned down in their base, waiting for opportunities, but now that level 20 is ready for their opponents, it's 2 levels that they gotta bridge. And I can already more or less guarantee you they won't be able to do that. They will have to fight against level 20 eventually. They will have to fight against this. And then, good luck. Because that is gonna hurt. And yeah, it's gonna hurt a lot. It's not impossible, but it's definitely not gonna be easy. It's a massive power spike that you have. So, we'll see. Top side, Anubarak making his move. They want another boss. Sacrifice the turret if you have to. 113 gems on the red team side. And they want Blaze. They're just swarming him. And he gets out. Everything they were trying to throw at him in vain. Red web weavers are coming down. And it's a similar situation to before. They take the web weavers. The opponent takes the boss. They're not even trying to go for the boss this time. They will have to try and defend the top lane. So they have to let the web weavers go. It will be easy defense for the blue team. Well, always assuming that they are defending, because right now it doesn't seem like they have defense on their mind. They want to go for a good offense instead and maybe end the game. At least from the looks of it. Get that web weaver out of the way. And all of the lanes are pushed out, so the web weaver is actually starting all over on the right side of the map. That's exactly what I talked about earlier. If you have no fountains in the middle, it is tough for you to get any kind of map control. So, here we go. They're trying to make a play for the boss and for the core, and it could actually end the game unless, well, if they get kills. They have to get kills. Instead, are they losing Blaze? Blaze bunkers up. Yeah, yet the cooldown back in time. And Leo dies instead. Oh my god, just as it seemed like maybe they're finally able to get a kill or so. But now they are again in trouble. They want to get another kill. Mephisto gets saved by Junkrat. He actually got saved by him. He actually got saved by Junkrat. Got pushed out. And yep, that worked for them. Oh my god. What a game. What a game. Attack on Titan. For me, they were the favorite heading into this. And they are now on the brink of being defeated. And being dropped down into the lower bracket. Which is just big. So, right now, the blue team, they've taken 2 keeps. Topside keep has been destroyed. Bottom keep has been destroyed. They weren't able to actually damage the core. But they're also buying themselves lots and lots of time. The only... I don't even know if you want to call that good news. The only good news is that the red team still has enough gems for another turn-in. That they do have. They could get the third one. 45 gems for jackpots. Yep, they already got found out. But they would love to now try and get that turn-in. Get level 20, get the turn-in, and then turn the game. Because there's now catapults traveling through every lane. They need to win a team fight. They need to get a turn-in. There is no denying this anymore. You gotta make moves, and you gotta make them now. You have a level 10 that gives you Buried Alive, so now you have a chance there. If Leo is able to drop that in Tomb. Little Nados being thrown out to try and counteract it a bit. But yes, this is the big opportunity for the blue team to make their play. Camps are claimed, or at least attacked. So they want to go for the camp here. In comes the Life of Death, dropping everything on this. And Tomb is already out. There's Buried Alive. They go again for Blaze. He's low and can bunker up and might even survive this. Again, they don't find a kill. 7 kills to 0. Leo dies. Garrosh likely gone. 46 gems on him. They keep him alive as long as they can, but he gets murdered eventually, and the same is also true for Anduin. This has to be all she... Oh, well, maybe not. All of a sudden, double kill. Junkrat and Blaze down. Now, they lost a lot of the gems. They recovered a few, which means that they could still technically try and get that turn in. But the situation has changed a little bit thanks to those 2 kills. Or has it? Because over here, another 13 gems can be delivered, and they're getting closer and closer to a turn in themselves. So maybe the game isn't over yet, but I'm not quite sure if that really helped the red team. It might not have. 10 kills to 2. At least they have kills now, right? I mean, at least that happened. Damage output, 42,000 for Mephisto. 62,000 for Tracer. And after that, we'll just have to see. 3 versus 3 on the map now. Move down towards the bottom. They have him pinned down again. One of the big problems is that the boss is back up in a minute. So that is definitely a big of an issue. The boss was a huge issue earlier. Huge problem when the turn-ins happened. And now it's coming up again. Yeah, you're gonna try and deny that. But it's a 5 versus 5 now. And here's the attempt to secure a few more of the gems. Oh, maybe now, maybe now, maybe now. Oh, Junkrat was looking for... the Entomb misses. But Junkrat was looking for interrupts and couldn't get it. Okay, now we get Web Weavers again. Now they're getting Web Weavers again. Is this the moment? They will definitely take down some forts. This is the opportunity to at least destroy a few forts. The question is it going to be enough or is it too late? Top lane, bot lane are pinned down. They will be pushed out by the Web Weavers. It's not going to do too much, but now is your chance. This is the one opportunity that they have. Move through the middle, get the Web Weavers here, take the keep out, and at least get that. And then see if you can fall back and take another fort out or two. But if they can make that work, maybe they got a chance there. Maybe this is it. Here comes the push, and the Web Weaver is basically at full health. So here's the opportunity, right here, right now, to take that keep. I don't think they can go for the core, but dropping the keep would be a big first step. Entomb is back up. One good Entomb could change the game again. So they are falling back. They take the keep. I thought they might be able to go towards a fort, but I also expected those Web Weavers on the side lanes to have a little bit more of an impact. And let's just say they didn't really. So, yeah. But they got that keep in the middle. Catapulters are now on the core. Hello, Greyman, you gotta deal with this. Okay, Mephisto is dealing with it. I was about to say, you can't just let that slide. Now the boss is up. So, everything will send around the boss, which is a disaster for the bot lane. And look at this. Tracer now claiming the camp here, claiming those siege giants. That is a pretty big problem. Because once the Tracer has taken those siege giants, it essentially means that there is more pressure at the bottom of the map. And once that there is pressure at the bot lane for the core, you can posture at the top if you're the blue team, threaten boss, and force your opponent to send somebody back eventually. So this is a pretty smart play to make if you're just trying to pin your opponent down and signal to them, well guys, if you are making a move now to defend your bot lane, we can go for boss. But they're not posturing as much as I thought. They're trying to go for the turn instead. So the situation, I guess, at the end of the day is very similar. It's kind of the same. The red team is still forced to try and get a fight going. So bot lane is pushing. Red team is eager to take a fight. And the turn-in has happened. Even with Attack on Titan just making a decent play around the last one, I think there's not a lot that they can effectively do now. That turn-in is going to be brutal. Web Weavers are going to travel through the top lane for the core. Through the bot lane as well. The keep in the middle is likely going to fall. This one's going to be tough to survive. For the blue team, this is the big opportunity. Right here. If they can now turn that keep to dust, to rubble, and get maybe a kill, yeah, they can win the game right here. Leo could try and ruin their day. With a good Entomb, if he hits a masterful Entomb, it might change things. But we're not there yet. The keep has fallen. Keep is gone. Web Weavers are slowly getting destroyed. They're trying to defend the best they can, but it is going to be a very, very tough one. Already, we're going straight for it. Here comes the attack. Blaze is there with the bunker, and the core is losing its shield quickly. Very, very quickly indeed. Already taking damage. This is not looking good for them. Not even a little bit. Tracer down. Leo down. 50% on the core. Do they have a chance here? They're going to be trying, but nope. It is the blue team. The 2-1 victory over Attack on Titan as Team Easy Girl, Team EG, takes the best of 3 series and moves on to the winner bracket semifinal.